What is Go? For some people, it's only a game. For others, it's a form of art. And to other kind of people, it's an sport or a competition. But the more poetic guys will say it's an opportunity to have a talk without words. They say that it's the art of hands talking and communicate with each other in just a board. Well, to be honest, I think that it's a little about everything of that. It's a game, an sport, and an art, all at the same time. But to understand a little more about this game, we have to go to its story, and we will move to ancient China. The first myth of the creation of the game remonts to the Emperor Yao. There is a there is an history that says that he wanted for to get a new game for his child, and this was one of the games that was created. There is nothing that makes us sure that if this is really the first beginning of the game, but the first right reference of the game comes 500 years before Christ. There we can see that people was already playing the game. We could see the first kifus of the game, the records of the game. So that's one of the first in known reference of the game. Go in the start was one of the fourth big arts of China. In its start, there was the weiqi, a musical instrument, the calligraphy, and the paintings. But between them, there is the fourth great art of the ancient China in the Go. After a lot of years, we can see the first references of this game in Japan, 1,000 years later than in China. We see the Go in Japan starts going there in 600 years after Christ. But why will we call it Go? To be honest, Go is not the first name of the game. In China, it's known as weiqi. In Korea, it's known as baduk. But the issue is that Japan was the one that gave the game to the rest of the world. So in West, it is known as the game of Go. If you try to spell the name in English, it will be the surrounding game, but to be honest, everybody uses the term of Go. That's only because Japan was the biggest exponent of this game when it was trying to get a worldwide knowledge about it. Nowadays, this game is one of the big issues about the machine. The last big victory of the machine before ChatGTP, it could be said that it was when the AlphaGo came to rethink the game after a lot of time they were trying. They beat it a few years ago. So, how to play the game? Well, to play the game, we'll have to understand that it's um, a game that you will be putting stones in a board one stone at a time. Your idea is try to get the most points in the board for yourself. So you will be moving and you will be showing a little about yourself. You will try to see if you can create something for yourself or you have to take something from your opponent. But because this game starts with an empty board and we go and fill it one move at a time, we say that this is not a destruction game. This is a creation game because you are trying to create a new unique game each time that you play. There is a saying that there are more Go games that stars in the sky. And this is because there are no two games that are the same. every game will be different because we have so many ways to play it, so many possible moves that it's impossible to think that go, it will repeat itself. In the board, you will be trying to cover most of them with your color. You will have to try to get more than your opponent. This is akin to an ancient war when there was no classes, so you don't try to kill the king, but what you are trying to get is more space for your country. You want to get new soil, fertile land, new land for it. So that's what we're doing in the game. We're trying to get this land, we're trying to get more territory for ourselves. And that way we get more than our opponent. And the one who gets the most, it's the one who will win. We will never move stones that we place at one time because the only thing that we can do is just to keep adding stones. We can capture opponent stones because this is a war and you can take prisoners of war. You won't kill them, but you will take them prisoners. Okay, this game was used for a long time like a and good ability for generals in Asia. This is because the great um, deepness that the game can have. It makes a pretty good idea of your strategic mind. If you think this way, there is a lot of um, writing about the 36 stratagems of war applied to Go. Because Go is like a kind of war, and all the Sun Tzu principles you could apply it in this kind of world. This shows the deepness and the strategic meaning of the game. In this game, each side is taking some place. White has the bottom right, black has the top center and the bottom left. White also has the left side and the top right, a very small top right. And the one that will cover more part of the board will take this victory home. This is the game of Go. This is what we try to do with each of our games. And we hope to each day be one step near to understanding it better or to getting a deeper feeling about the game. But coming back to the first question, what is Go? This is the question of the video, and I will say that it's a game, it's an art, it's a sport, but to be honest, for most good players right now, it's a way of life. It's a part of ourselves, and it's something that have teach us about of our opponent and about ourselves. I think that the hand talking example, it's a good way to see it. We will teach each other more about ourselves when we're on the go board, each even more that we should like or we wanted to say. So for me, Go is a way of life. It's a way to get better and to know myself even more than yesterday.